If you want to understand how to do the interaction between data mappers and Omniscripts seamlessly, then this is the only video that you need to watch. Because in this video, I'm just not going to tell you the brief description, but actually we are going to try to solve a real world problem. Okay, so that's what we are going to do in this specific video. But before we move to our video, I would like to tell you that I am just very close to 10k subscribers. So if you're watching this video, I really request you to please go ahead and click on that subscribe button so I complete my goal for this year. Okay, so let's get started quickly. So right now what we have is that, see, what my goal is that, let's say I'm building a system. Okay, so let's say if for an example, let me use an auto draw over here. So let's say what happens in this scenario is that a customer walks in. We own a garage. Okay, let's say we own a garage. Okay, let's say this is G is a garage. So we own a garage. A customer is going to walk in, and then customer is going to submit his car or a bike. Okay, so whatever he has, I will say it as a bike. Okay, my bad, I'll call it as a car right now. Okay, so he has submitted the car. Okay, and now what we do is we work on this car, right? We are going to work on this car, and customer is going to go back to his home, right? So now next time what happens is, see, customer is not going to just bluntly come in, right? So he is going to give us a call. Okay, he calls the customer executive. Okay, and he calls the customer executive and he asks about his car. Okay, so when customer executive is going to get any call, he or she or whoever the customer executive is, he will try to find out the person. Okay, he will first of all take some unique details from the person who is trying to call, and based on the details he has provided, then he will find out whether he's a customer or not. Okay, so he will take some details, and based on the details submitted, he will find out whether he's a customer or not. And if he is the customer, then we should be able to see his details. Like, let's say for an example, I have submitted a phone number, because phone number is always a unique one, right? Everybody has a unique phone number. So if person is calling, the customer executive is going to ask the phone number, and if the phone number is found, we are going to say, okay, he is a customer, and we are going to show you the customer details. On the other hand, if he is not a customer, then we will show, okay, don't know who you are. Okay, so we will say that, are you a customer, or something like that. Okay, but in this specific video, what we want is that if he is a customer, I just should be able to see his details. That's what we want to solve. Okay, so customer calls us. Okay, the customer or the customer executive should be able to put the phone number of the customer, and based on the phone number found, he should be able to see the details of the specific customer. That's what we are going to do in this specific video. Okay, so the unique ID over here is phone number. Okay, so the UI is going to have one input field just like this. It's going to have an input field. He's going to submit the data to the data mappers, and based on the data submitted to the data mappers, that is data turbo extract or data extract, whatever it might be, we might be using, we will fetch the data from the data mappers, and we will show those details of this customer, like what is his name, what is his email address, what is his other details, to the Omniscript or in the Omniscript. That's what we are going to do in this specific video. Okay, so first things first, we need to prepare a data mapper. Okay, one important thing is that in this specific video, we are going to store the details of a customer inside the contact object. Okay, so everything is stored inside the contact object. So in very simple terms, we are going to take the phone number, search it inside the contact object. If we find such contact with this specific phone number, we will just show that details on the page. That's what the overall background over here is, but we are going to do it using Omniscript. Okay, so the first things first, I need to prepare a data mapper which can take the data, or which can take the phone number and find the contact for us. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go ahead and create a data raptor. Okay, so I'll click on new, and now in this I will say get customer details based on phone. If you have not watched my previous video what data raptor and everything is, you can surely watch it. It is in the specific playlist itself. Okay, so here I'm going to select data turbo extract because I want the data from only one object, not from multiple object, and I'm going to submit the input type as JSON and output type as JSON as well. Okay, let's click on save, and now our data raptor is ready. The object here I'm going to select is contact, of course, because I want to get the details from contact. Okay, and I at this side I will open the contact as well. Okay, I do have a contact right now. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I have a Daniel Santos contact. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are trying to find this contact using the data mapper. That's what our goal is right now. Okay, I will extract output path, so I will give it as contact found variable name. Okay, and I will say where phone of the contact equals to the phone that we have right now. Okay, so we are going to give this following details in the single quotes for now. And then the fields that I want is that, see, in the detail section I want to show at least his name. Okay, the person's name, I want to show his name, his email address, and his phone number. At least I want to show these following 3 fields. Okay, so let's go ahead and query those fields. So I need name, I'll say phone is already there, so I will say email, and another thing I will also get the phone as well, for just for and I'll add all these fields. So basically what I'm trying to do is that from the contact object I will query and contact with phone equals to this, and I'm going to keep these fields. Okay, and whatever contact that I found, I will store it inside then variable called as contact phone. Okay, let's try to preview it whether it is working fine or not. So right now I will just click on execute because I have hard coded the phone number, right? So as you can see, it's working perfectly fine. The phone, I'm able to get the phone, I'm able to get the email, and I'm also able to get the ID, which I actually don't need right now, but yeah, you can see I can get the ID as well. Okay, now next goal is that, okay, once it is found, right now I'm hard coding the phone number, but what we are going to do is that we are going to provide an input box inside the Omniscript, right? I'm going to provide the input box, and in that input box I am going to pass the data. So let me create a variable over here quickly. I'll say phone. Okay, and this variable we are going to use throughout the for the data raptors. Okay, so let's go ahead and quickly preview it. I will say clear data, and I will edit as params, and I'll keep key as this and value as the specific phone number for now. Okay, let's click on execute, and still I am able to get the data. Okay, so things are working perfectly fine over here. I can see everything is working fine. This variable I'm using phone, in which I am going to actually go and pass the data. Okay, so we are going to find the contact record with phone, I mean with the phone number equals to this phone, and whichever records we are going to find, we are going to store it inside the variable called as contact found, and we are also going to keep these fields because of course I need to show these details on the UI. Okay, so it seems like our data raptor is specifically ready. Let's go ahead and create our Omniscript. Okay, so I will say Omniscript name would be capturing or finding customer details. Okay, I'll keep the type as contract, subtype as renew for an example, and let's click on save. Okay, so right now, okay, I'll say finding customer. Yeah, I found it. It's taking too much time to open. Yeah, it's taking too much time to open. I might have something else already. Let me open Omniscript. I'll say finding again. Yeah, it's open finally. Okay, so our Omniscript is available right now. In the step 1 itself, for the step 1 I'm going to say taking customer details. Okay, this is what name I'm going to give, and the label is also I'm going to give the same thing. Okay, so first here I'm going to take the customer details, and initially what I will do is I need an input box so that I can take the phone number, right? So let's go ahead and say search for text. Okay, so I have text and I will drag it and drop it. Let's call it as please insert phone, or let's say contact phone. This is the name I'm going to give to it, and for the label I'm going to say please enter the customer phone number. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do over here. Okay, next what I'm going to do is, as soon as someone goes and puts the phone number inside, let's try to preview it right now. Okay, and we will try to put his phone number. Okay, Daniel's phone number. So this is what we will see. We will paste the phone number and we will click on next. We can see the JSON is getting created over here, like taking customer details, and in that we have something called as contact phone, and which has the actual phone number. Okay, so let's go back to the design. And now once we have taken the input from the end user, let's call our created data raptor. So if you remember, we just created a data raptor called as get customer details based on phone. Let's call that. I have created a turbo action, so I will drag turbo action over here, and I will call it as fetching customer based on phone, and the same label I'm going to give over here. And the data raptor that we have, I will try to search the data raptor that I've created. Yeah, I found it successfully. Okay, so now whatever I have done is I have taken the phone number and I'm calling my data turbo extract. Okay, that's what I'm trying to call over here, and basically I'm calling this data turbo extract. Okay, in the data source I'm going to pass the input value. So for an example, in our case the variable was name was contact phone, phone, right? I think so, yeah. Okay, sorry, this should be the contact phone. Okay, at the right side I will put the contact phone, and at the left side I am going to put contact phone. This is what I'm going to put at the this side. Okay, so I'll put the contact phone. So automatically whatever contact phone I will get it over here, I'm going to pass it to the con phone of the data raptor. Okay, so let's try to preview it quickly. Okay, let's try to copy the phone number and put it over here, and let's try to click on next to see whether we are getting the data. And if you see right now, successfully under this variable called as contact found, now again this variable contact found, I'm getting it from over here. Okay, so exactly if I copy this JSON and if I just open the notepad for now, okay, I'll say JSON beautifier.org. Let's pass it over here and let's call it beautify. Okay, so this is the JSON that I'm getting back. Now if I just take you through the design, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the phone number from here, that is inside the contact phone variable, and this contact phone variable, whatever phone number I'm going to get over here, I'm taking this phone number and passing it to the data turbo extract. Okay, so I'm calling the data turbo extract, and whatever contact phone which I have captured above, I'm passing it to the con phone variable of the data mapper. Okay, or the data turbo extract that I've created. So automatically con phone will have the value which has been passed in this input box. So once we have it, we are going to go and find the contact based on this phone number, whichever has been entered over here. We will try to find the contact with the specific phone number with this specific field, and once it is found, it's stored inside the variable called as contact found. So that's why in the JSON you can see taking customer details, contact phone, and finally in the contact found JSON you can find the actual found contact, because whatever contact we are finding based on the phone number, we are storing it inside this variable. Okay, now once we have done these things, next thing is that we have to show these details on the screen. So when, let's say, if customer walks in and if he calls and if he is asking about, okay, what has happened to my car or bike, so all the customer executive person is going to do is, can you please provide me your phone number? So he does provides his, okay, bad, okay, so he does provides his phone number. Okay, and then we click on next, and the next goal is over here is to show those details on the screen. Okay, so that customer representative can say that, okay, are you Daniel? Okay, so your car status is, or whatever it might be, is your phone number this, is your email this, and vice versa. Okay, so now next step is that I have to show these details on the screen. So for that, again, I need a step. Okay, so again in this case I'll need a step. I will drag it and drop it over here, and I'll say that showing details. Label will be also same. Okay, and in this step I'm going to add a text. I think so, something called as output block display. I'll say text block. Yeah, I'm adding a text blocks over here, and I will name it as showing customer details. Okay, now my goal is I have to show the customer details in this specific section. Okay, so I have added a text block and here I have to show the customer details. So I'll say name colon and I have to show the customer's details. Okay, so for that reasons I have kept this JSON alive. I mean, I have just kept this JSON over here. So from this JSON, if I want the customer details, if you see throughout where I can find the customer details, I can find the customer details under this section, contact found. Okay, so I have to go to the contact found. To go to this specific node, you will write % contact found. Okay, %. And out of this contact found, I want the name of the person, that is Daniel Santos. Okay, so we are going to write something like colon name. But wait, this is not going to work. Okay, even dot name is not going to work. The reason is because this is an array. Okay, this is an array. This is not just one record, it's a specific array. That's why you can see a square braces around it. So if you want to get the details from an array, okay, and you know it's a first record itself, okay, you can do the following way. Okay, you can write a pipe of 0th dot name. Okay, for me it will be 1, not 0th, it will be 1th. Okay, contact found pipe of 1th dot name. So this means that whatever contact found first index, see, this is not a apex array, this is JSON array, and JSON array usually starts from 1. Okay, so contact found pipe whatever the first detail that I'm getting, so I will write pipe 1 dot the name that I have. Okay, again I'm using pipe, the reason is because it's an array. Okay, you can consider it this way. For an example, contact found 1 dot name, just like we do it in Apex, right? So that's what I'm trying to do over here as well, but instead I will write contact pipe 1 dot name. Similarly, let's show email address. Okay, again % contact found pipe 1 dot email, because I think so that's what the name is, email, and I think so phone is not required. Okay, we will skip phone for now to keep this video short, so I will just keep name and email for now. Okay, so I am showing name and email of the customer. Let's go ahead and try to preview it, whether it is working perfectly or fine or not. Okay, so let's say customer walks in and he or customer calls to the customer representative. Customer representative is going to tell me, okay, ask the customer, please provide your phone number. So he does provide this phone number, and when the customer representative is going to click on next, he will be able to see, okay, I am seeing the whole array itself, but he should be able to see the whole details itself. Okay, I'm doing something wrong over here. Contact found of 0th. Let's try to do 0th. No, 0th is not going to work. One colon. You can try to put the phone number. Yeah, it's working fine. Okay, so instead of putting dot, you have to go with colon. Okay, so you can see name is Daniel Santos and the email is following. Okay, so just show the details from an array. You can do the following: contact found, the pipe icon first, colon, okay, and the node that you want to pull out. Okay, so right now you can see if a customer walks in and or if a customer calls to the customer representative, all he has to do is he will ask the phone number of this customer, and by clicking on next he can see all the details of the customer he's talking with. Okay, so this is what we have tried to cover in this specific video. In the next coming videos, we will try to put the data, fetch the data, update the data, and we'll try to learn more how to do the proper interaction of the Omniscript with the Data Raptor. But this is what I had to cover in this specific video. If you found this video helpful, I request you to please like this video and do subscribe to my channel.